Hey, sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes here live to do a quick Florida at Texas preview. Of course, the Florida Gators come into town to Austin to DKR Stadium to play against my Texas Longhorns at noon today. That game will be on ABC. So check it out. Texas, Florida. What's my thoughts? Well, of course, if you've been following college football, you know that the Florida Gators have been banged up. They have a lot of key players on the injury list, and those guys will not be able to go today. The one who is most significant is their two quarterbacks. We know that Graham Ernst won't go today. He's out with a season injury. But last week, the backup, the best quarterback that I believe on the Florida Gators roster, DJ Lagway, is he's supposed to be a game time decision, but we have gotten word that he did work out in warm-ups and just light stuff, and he probably is not going to play in this game, which is going to really create some issues for Florida offensively because now they're going to have to go with their third string quarterback, a very smart guy out of Yale, but not the quarterback that they need to win a game against Texas. He doesn't have the arm strength to do so. But if Florida can run the ball offensively good on first and second downs to keep those third downs, third and three, third and four, he can, because he's really smart, complete those third and fours, third and six, third and five, those kind of game plans in this game for Florida. So if Florida can do that, they can be in this game. They're without their top running back, they're without their top receiver, and they're without their top right guard. That's a lot of injuries for offense to have to sustain to win games against top-notch programs in the SEC. Last week they took Georgia into the fourth quarter, tied 20-20. But those injuries really showed up in that fourth quarter when they couldn't go with DJ Lagway and they had the other injuries offensively. They just could not get the ball in the end zone again after that. And I'm looking for it to be very similar today against Texas. Texas has the best defense in the country. And when you're starting a third string quarterback who's not mobile, by the way, you're going to have some issues against that Texas front, against that Texas linebacker core, and that Texas secondary with the cornerbacks and the safeties that they have. I mean, this Texas defense is really, really good, and I don't see Florida being able to control the clock, control the game to where they can limit possessions for Texas um, offensively to keep Texas offense off the field. So I think Texas defense is going to have a big game today. I think they're going to be able to keep Florida up under the 240 yards they're allowing a game, that Texas defense. And I believe Texas will probably get a couple of turnovers in this game, probably in the fumble category, because I don't think that that young man is going to try to throw the ball down the field too much to throw too many interceptions, but he may be forced to. But I believe Texas will win the turnover game. The issue with Texas is special teams. They don't punt the ball very well. They have a very good return game though, and they haven't had a whole lot of opportunities kicking field goals. So Florida might be up in terms of special teams. That might be where they had the advantage. But we all know that special teams can win games, but in a game like this, special teams is not going to help you very much when you're offensively deficient like Florida is right now. But I really do like the Florida's their organization, their administration for letting the world know that we're going to bring Billy Napier back next season. I don't. Everybody might look at Florida's record at 4-4 and think, man, he got to go. It's the coach. It's not the coach. They have a really, really talented team. They just have a lot of injuries. And their culture, man, listen, those guys go out there and they play hard for Billy Napier. And if they had their key players in this game would be a lot closer game between Florida and Texas. They just don't have those players that they need to beat a team the caliber of Texas today. But they have a really good culture there. They play for Billy Napier. They play hard. The players that's going to play today, you're going to see they are going to play hard for their coach because they want their coach to be there. And they believe that in a few years they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the SEC. So I'm thankful to the administration at Florida State for making that bold move and saying we're going to keep Billy Napier as our head coach here at Florida. Now, Florida's defense against Texas offense. This might be the perfect game for injured Quinn Ewers, who's coming off of that injury several weeks ago, to really be able to show how talented he is, like he showed in the first 2.5 games this season. I believe he should be 100% by now and not worried about that abdomen strain and stepping up in the pocket, taking some of the hits that you have to take as a quarterback in order to complete the balls across the middle and down the field. And I believe this is the perfect game for Quinn Ewers to bounce back and be able to show NFL scouts and the country that he really is a top 5 quarterback in college football right now. And I believe he's going to do that because we got Isaiah Bond back. And with Isaiah Bond on the field for Texas, that creates a lot of openings for the other wide receivers, for himself because he's so fast. He's dynamic in the screen game with DeAndre Moore blocking that corner out there and letting him get to the corner inside or outside, whichever way he decides he has to go, according to the block. He's dynamic at that spot, but he's also dangerous. Deep cuts across the middle and going over the top on teams. And that really helps Ryan Wingo when he's on the field as well, because now you got two speed burners that you have to worry about. And it's really difficult to game plan for wide receivers of that caliber. I hate the fact that we no longer have Jonte Cook on the team, but I wish Jonte Cook the best wherever he decides to go. I really believe he's a really tremendous wide receiver. He's going to go somewhere and make some noise. So good luck to you. I don't want to say good luck because he's very talented. He doesn't need any luck. He's a very talented wide receiver. I would love to see him go to a SMU, a TCU, Texas Tech, a place like that, and go and really ball out. I really don't want him to stay in the SEC. That's for sure. Um, but I really do believe that Texas offensive line will have a chance to correct some things against Florida because Florida's going to have to really create some pressure in order for them to be in this game. And that gives our offensive line and our running backs an opportunity to work on pass blocking, picking up blitz, communication, all the things that they've been having some issues with the last couple of weeks. And we really need our running backs to step up in the passing game as far as blocking those blitzers. We got to make sure we find the right guy when they blitz us. We can't allow Quinn Ewers to be up under duress because we know he doesn't really have the foot speed in order to be able to get out of some of that trouble. And he's still probably still kind of, scared about getting injured again. He's been injured in every season that he's been at Texas. But I believe that Texas will be able to run the ball really well, outside zone, inside zone at times, and really be able to utilize their running backs out the backfield. I really like the fact that Texas has gone to Trey Wisner at the running back 1 spot. That gives Jaden Blue, who was going to be traditionally the running back 2 anyway, an opportunity. Well, they're really both running back 1s, but Trey Wisner starts the game. But it really gives Jaden Blue a chance to really see how patient Trey Wisner is at letting his block set up. Then he hits those holes and go. Because once, I'm telling you, once Jaden Blue gets that patience down, He's a guy who can hit that hole and be gone because he's so fast. Trey Wisener's fast as well, but he's not as fast as Jaden Blue. So I really want him to be able to, on that sideline, watching carefully how patient Trey Wisner is at letting his box get set up so he can make his move to get those yards when he's in the run game. So I really think that Texas offensively is going to create a lot of issues for Florida because Florida, just like I said earlier, they're banged up offensively and defensively. I think their top cornerback is out. I think they got a top safety that's out, uh, a linebacker that's out. They just got a lot of key players out at positions where you really need your dogs to be out there on the field against a team like Texas. So if Florida scores in double figures, man, it'll come with a lot of gifts from Texas, turning the ball over in their own territory. And if Texas doesn't do that, Florida's going to have a hard time scoring any points in this game. I think Texas can win this game 31-10, 34-10, somewhere in that range. But it may even be even worse than that if Florida's defense had to be on that field for over 80 snaps. It can get ugly real quick in this game. But I think Texas has the formula to bounce back. They got a nice 4-game stretch where they're really going to be tested. And if they can win out and go into the SEC championship game and make it to the college football playoffs, I think they will have everything they need as far as being tested during the regular season to to compete really well in the SEC championship game and in the college football playoffs. But that's all I have for Texas in their preview against Florida. It's really not a lot to talk about because Florida has so many injuries. And, it's just a good time for Texas to be able to work on some things that they need to work on in terms of their offensive line and the running backs blocking in the passing game. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Please continue to subscribe to the channel, WTP Sports Dudes. Share with your family and friends. Please also go check out Level Up Sports 10. That's another affiliate to WTP Sports Dudes. We're all in conjunction together. We're all trying to do as best we can to create content in the sporting world and also City League TV. And look out for some of our other products that we're going to be putting out, other channels as well, because we just want to do sports content at a level where you see your Joe Klatts and some of those guys. So without any further delay, hook 'em.